Today's news, South Korean court upholds ban on prostitution.
This is the story of all prostitutes in Korea, but really it's the story of a woman named Kim Jong-mi, who's 43 years old, who filed a lawsuit in 2012 when her little tiny room where she conducts business was raided and her human dignity was humiliated when police came in and took photos of her when she was naked and told her to get dressed and took photos of her while she was getting dressed. The reason why I know this and the reason why maybe you don't is because there is a hyperlink in this article which we're referring to that takes you to another article that's about a year old and explains exactly how the lawsuit came about. As someone who is really for the legalization of prostitution in order to make two consenting adults finally be able to do whatever they want by law, I don't like the ruling on this, which is 6 out of 9 Supreme Court justices in Seoul are in favor of crackdowns to throw women and other people in jail for consenting to do what the two people have agreed to.
My first thought, because I didn't check out that hyperlink, is way to be classy, South Korean police officials. I'm also with you that prostitution universally across the world should be legalized and regulated so that it's the best circumstances for all the people involved, because when you don't legalize things, when things are illegal, that's when it starts getting really shady and a lot of bad stuff starts happening, because it's going to happen regardless. And that's the thing. It is going to happen regardless, but this is when you start getting human trafficking, this is when you start having STD problems, when it's not legal and it's not regulated. Prostitution is going to happen in South Korea regardless, because it is so deeply ingrained in the culture. It's something that you see in almost every South Korean drama, historical dramas, modern dramas. It happens, it occurs, and this is kind of a light sprinkling on what is actually happening, because if you live in South Korea, it's in your face. You see it, whether it's booking rooms, whether it's vans picking up girls off the street to take them into these karaoke bars where they do business or whatever. It is happening.
You do see it a lot, and the biggest problem with this ruling is it doesn't take into consideration all of the things that you just mentioned, which are booking rooms and finding prostitution on the internet, whether you're a man or whether you're advertising, if you're a woman. I suppose that there are men that are advertising as prostitutes as well. The law really is just trying to crack down on what they see in the streets and where these alleys of prostitution with the windows and the lights are happening. And because the internet is so well traversed at this point in South Korea and all over the world, the laws have not caught up yet. And so the majority of people now turn to the internet to do business, and that business includes prostitution, and that's not being regulated, and they're also not cracking down on it. And that's really the saddest part, because they should just let it go legally, and then they wouldn't have to worry about the internet, they wouldn't have to worry about what's going on the street. They could let these people who they're turning into criminals because they wrote on a piece of paper that it's illegal, let them not be criminals anymore. I mean, there's so many things that are written in the old laws, not just in South Korea, but around the world, that really need to be changed because the internet has sort of changed all our lives.
It shouldn't be just ignored. I feel that it should be regulated. I feel that laws should be put into place to make life better, because there are so many young women and older women. If you remember a couple months ago, like a year ago or so, we talked about the Bacchus ladies, the really old ladies who would sell the drinks in the park in exchange for sex, because they can't afford to live off of their social security, essentially. And then there are young 20-somethings who are finding it really hard to break into the job market. There's what they call the Sanpo generation, or there's other names for it too, where they're giving up the ideas of marriage, getting a job, ever living on their own, because they can't afford to do it, because it's so hard to get into the job market. And this is a way to make an income. If they're willing to do it, I think that the regulations should be in place to not only allow them to do it, but also to protect them.
You guys, what are your views on prostitution? Both of these articles are from the New York Times, and they're very good reads. I encourage you to go and click them and learn a little bit more about South Korea if you don't know what the stances are legally in South Korea for prostitution. Also, please click the like button while you're down there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more HallyuBack news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.